Well, today was about gathering people together to pray. That was a fundamental thing. People are feeling hurt. They feel like they need to do something that expresses their hurt, and at the same time is able to console and strengthen. So we said, let's get people together. And so we got people together. We got people together here because we want this church reopened. And so we felt it's appropriate to pray here. We consider this still to be a church, so we can pray here. So we gathered here together to pray, to comfort, console, and strengthen people as they take on this task and as we journey together during this. This is a bit of a trouble. This is trial for people.
Certainly, the fight is closer at hand based on the fact that St. Rita's has not sold yet?
That's right. The struggle here is, it's really here, well, there's a couple of things. The church is not sold, when we don't believe it should be sold, okay? We don't believe that the bishop has done what needed to be done, has the legitimate reasons to close this church and sell it. Okay, that's the first thing. And we're talking about that within the framework of church law. The second thing is, people from St. Ange and Corpus Christi, where I'm from Corpus Christi, people from St. Ange and Corpus Christi were here as well to support this. Because we've gone through the closure of our church and the sale of Corpus Christi and the imminent sale of St. Ange, right? And we want to stand in solidarity with the brothers and sisters here. Other thing is what we have said in our appeals is that two things. I'll speak of Corpus Christi, because Corpus Christi and St. Rita's are the ones that have appealed to Rome. St. Ange has left their appeal for personal reasons. So, at Corpus Christi, what we've said is that just as in St. Rita's, we don't believe that the church law has been properly followed. And therefore, that the criteria for closing our church, for relegating it to secular use and being able to sell it, the criteria that the church provides has not been met. And therefore, we're saying that the sale of the church is an illicit act according to church law, and therefore should be reversed. But in the case that it can't be, if the Vatican agrees with us, in the case that the sale can't be reversed, what we've said is vindicate our rights by reopening St. Rita's. We will come and worship here in St. Rita's, whether it be a parish church or a mission church or an oratory or whatever would emerge. We will participate in the life of this community. And St. Ange has said the same thing, that they would like to see St. Rita's reopened, and they too would support the life of this church, of this spiritual community, whether it becomes a parish or not. Because, you see, it's no longer, the parish of St. Rita doesn't exist, but the church of St. Rita still exists. So this church could become a mission church. It could become what's called a quasi-parish. It could become an oratory, a chapel associated with another parish. Nonetheless, what we're saying is, from Corpus Christi and from St. Ange, many of the people there are saying, we will worship here and we will participate in the life of the community here.
Do you think that Rome is going to hear that, or is it a done deal?
Well, in the last 2.5, 3 months, the Congregation for the Clergy, which is the part of Rome, the branch in Rome of office in Rome that we have appealed to, okay? They're the first church court that we appealed to. They have been issuing decrees in cases in the United States, 19 of them. 11 of those decrees have said the following: the parish itself can be suppressed. So the parish no longer exists, or it's merged with another parish, that's all fine. But the building, the church itself, has to reopen as a place of worship. Saying that in those cases, the bishop did not show the relevant grave causes to allow him to put the church to secular use. Okay? So 11 of those 19, the Congregation of the Clergy has made this decision. 8 have said that both the parish and the church can close. So it could go either way. What we have to do is make our case, to present our case to Rome, to the Congregation of the Clergy. We'll give them all the information. The bishop will do likewise. He'll make his case, we'll make ours, and then the Congregation for the Clergy will make their decision. Now, if the Congregation for the Clergy decides in our favor of the appeal, two things I'd have to say about that. First of all, I would say that if our appeal is successful, St. Rita's appeal or Corpus Christi's appeal is successful, I believe it's to the benefit of the whole church, even the bishop. Okay, that's my opinion here. I'm not here to get anybody to, cause trouble for anybody. We're here because we love the church, okay? And we believe that what we're saying is good for the church. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is, if the bishop doesn't like that, if he doesn't agree with the decision of the Congregation for the Clergy, he has the right to appeal it to a higher court in the Vatican. Similarly for us, that if we don't think that the decision is fair or just or correct, we can appeal it to a higher court. All right? So this could take, a year or so to go through. So we need to keep gathering people together to encourage each other, and we're going to pray here. We're going to pray again. We're discussing possibly getting together for Bible studies and that kind of thing to build up the faith of the people, because this needs to happen. Whether this church building is opened or closed or Corpus Christi, people need to be fed the Word of God, and we're prepared to do that.
And also a fundraising event as well.
Well, some of the folks, I'm not directly involved in that. Some of the folks are organizing a fundraising event, and because it's important to have fun together too, right? It's important to build community. And we have financial expenses related to a court challenge, right? We're hiring a lawyer in Rome. Not any kind of lawyer can present before the court in Rome. There are only 7 that are allowed, that have standing to present these cases, okay, in Rome. So we have somebody in Rome who has said that they'll take on our case. They know about the St. Rita's, they know about Corpus Christi, and they're prepared to act on our behalf, so we need to raise the funds to cover their expenses. We're also hiring someone else who is involved in these cases in the United States, who will act as an intermediary with our lawyer. They'll translate documents from Latin and Italian into English and back and forth, that kind of stuff. They'll give us some political advice, some legal advice, all that kind of stuff, small p political, of course, all that kind of stuff. And it's important because he's also engaged in these things across the United States, and so he can give us a lot of information. And likewise, he's interested in what's happening here in Canada. So we have a relationship with that person. And we want to have a little bit of a buffer in case there's an appeal to a higher court. There'll be court costs in that case, and so we need to have the funds for that. So we're saying $10,000 per appeal. So we're looking for $20,000.
End result, the best end result for you would be?
The best result for us, first, is St. Rita's reopened so that people can come in here to pray and to receive the sacraments. The bishop would have to say when and how often and whom and and that's fine, but that's the best result. We want St. Rita's reopened, okay? And we want to know very clearly, from the point of view of Corpus Christi, we have said something very serious. We have said that we consider the sale of the church to be illegal according to church law, an illicit act. Now, if that's true, we want the Vatican to clarify that. Because if that's the case, that will help the bishop in the future. It will help all bishops around the world very clearly what the criteria is of when a church can be closed and when it can be sold. So we want a very clear ruling on that matter as well. Now, if the Vatican comes back and says in Corpus Christi that sale is illicit and you need to make every effort to reverse it, we will help the bishop do that. If that's not available, then again, but whether that's available or not, we're on side with St. Rita's. We'll be here to help out and to participate in the life of the community.